Hey everybody, welcome back to the Airsoftology Q&A show, the show that answers your questions, helps you in a pinch. And I've just returned from Japan. I have to say, and I know if you guys watch the show a lot, you'll know I say this often, that is just like, if you get a chance to play Airsoft in Japan, you should absolutely go do it. I really feel like it's high on the list of things that really should be on your Airsoft bucket list. I'm not gonna lie, it's just so much fun. Had a fantastic time there at the Crytek owners meeting. That's owners meeting number 4 they just had. And it was myself, the crew from EVIC, so like Matt and George, and EVIC himself was there, Mark from Red Wolf, and man, it was Scott from Land Warrior Airsoft in Scotland. Wow, just Mitch from Crytek. There was so many, Alan from Crytek. There's a lot of people there. I had so much fun. In fact, some videos are coming up, some cool stuff I saw, like Airsoft video game, really? Kind of using Airsoft and, anyway, super neat stuff. Did some 3-gun shooting, wild and crazy driving. It was so much fun. Anyway, and of course, I had a few days to myself too. So Akibara, Shinjuku, I kind of wandered around the city a little bit and actually did some tours with the Laylax people. Laylax put on the game. They're distributors for Crytek. So I want to say a big thank you, huge thank you to Koshida-san, Nomura-san at Laylax and the rest of the Laylax team for letting me come, letting me book a ticket and come and show up and just letting me in the door and showing me the, I mean, every time I go, it's an amazing time. Anyway, huge thanks to you guys. As always, it's fantastic. I will see you next year. If you have a chance to go, you should totally go. Absolutely go. And stay tuned for the videos. They're coming up right after this one, for real. Like I'm already editing them. Aside from that, if you guys want to support the show, I do have a web store with some cool morale patches in it. Free shipping worldwide on all of these. Right now we get shipping. Shipping's like 2-ish weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks, depending on where you live in the world. But that's free shipping included in the price of every single one, no matter where you live. Also, if you guys want to have your question on the show, put it in the comment box below. Vote up your favorites, as well as if you have a YouTube channel or you have a favorite YouTube channel you'd like to watch that's Airsoft related, recommend those down below. I'll get them in the YouTube, the video recommendation of the week, the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week, toward the end of every single episode, including this one and another one this week coming from you guys and gals. So anyway, oh, before I forget, shameless plug for my brother-in-law. He's got a Kickstarter going, and this is like the family thing, right? Really cool concept. He's an author. He's been working with some major artists as well, doing a series of graphic novels, kind of dealing with some mythology and some other, it's cool. You just got to check it out. I mean, absolutely worth checking out if you guys and gals are in the geek world. He's getting a lot of buzz around it too. This is one heck of a project. It's not just saying it because he's, in the family. I'm saying this is actually an impressive thing going on. Plus, one of the artists I use to help do my patches in the web store is also part of this project. So I kind of have a second tie in there, and I kind of little personal reason to help it succeed. So if you guys are interested in something like that, check it out. Link is in the description box below as well. So anyway, enough about all that. Let's dive on into what you're really here for. It's your questions and the Tippmann mail call. Adrian Stedman writes, "Hi Jonathan, what's your thoughts on Novritsch moving to China?" Now, this may or may not be something you're going, Jonathan, what do you mean Novritsch is moving to China? So, what happened, and this is when I was in Japan last week, I opened up my Instagram, I saw a tease about, hey, we're moving to China. That's my terrible Novritsch impression, by the way. And a quick video of them setting up desks and an office in China, and I was like, what? Really? And I click on it, and there's a YouTube video attached, so it goes over to YouTube. I start watching this video. I was like, I read some of the comments, and I was like, ooh, ouch. That's it's a pretty rough comment section. And then I went back to look at it, and it was gone. And then I was like, well, I'll go find the Instagram post. I don't know what happened to the video, and it's gone too. So I'm guessing the comment section probably drove that video to be taken down by the team, by the Novritsch media team. I want to say, I will say this. I did read the comments. They were none too favorable. It's not the best place for airsoft. And you go, well, Jonathan, I see a lot of guns that say made in China. Well, the laws in China have changed significantly and really tightened down in the past decade or so. And you're seeing less and less and less items made in China, more and more of those being made in Hong Kong or finished in Hong Kong. There's only a few manufacturers like Classic Army and a few others that are still mainland China made. And most of them are only in a few locations because of the laws. You have to have a firearm license to make airsoft because airsoft is actually illegal in China. You can't go play airsoft. You can't. It is not legal to do. Hong Kong, no problem. Taiwan, no problem. China, mainland China, no, not allowed. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I think this is like kind of a publicity thing for him, is that YouTube also is not allowed in China. So you can't even access YouTube. You can't even upload to YouTube. I have some great YouTubers I love watching that do like food travel that are based in mainland China, and they have to leave the country to upload their YouTube videos and then go back into the country. So they'll like cross into like Hong Kong, do their uploads, and then go back in. So knowing that from the other YouTubers I watch that are like food vloggers that are in mainland China that live there like as English teachers and other things, and they also do this YouTube thing on the side, that I know that it's not the best business move for a YouTuber to move to a country where you can't even upload to YouTube. So that to me was like the first red flag. I was like, I don't think this is really gonna happen. I think this is kind of a publicity thing or a marketing thing, or maybe it's like a late April Fool's joke. I don't know. But needless to say, the video is gone. It doesn't exist. But it was up long enough, I think, to get people's attention. So anyway, that's my thought on it. I'd love to talk to Novritsch and see what he has to say about it and what it was. I haven't had a chance to do that. But if I learn more, I will let you know. Frank Dad writes, question for anyone, including John. Can I use a Russian CQB valve on the AW Customs 1911 drum mag? It's basically WeTech, but I don't see any confirmation anywhere to do it. In a short answer, absolutely. I had one. Well, actually, I left it in America. Oops. They are super cool. They really, you're correct. AW Customs is compatible with WeTech products. AW, in a lot of cases, uses the WeTech production lines, but it's a totally different company. The engineering is done by a totally different person. It's totally independent. They're just using the production line set to their quality control standards. So on that, yeah, you should be fine. You'd be totally fine. In fact, I know the threading should work just fine, and I've seen some people do this before. That's what I'm telling you. I know it's fine, and it works just fine. In fact, that large extra chamber kind of gives you an expansion chamber in there for the air, so it's a pretty cool setup. So yeah, you totally can use what you're thinking. And if you guys don't know, the WeTech has like a big drum bag that holds like 1,000 rounds. I forget, like 700, 800 rounds for your gas blowback pistol. And they make a couple different versions, like that'll fit like the double stack 1911s, like the double stack 2011s, like the high kappas, and a few other versions out there. I think they make a Glock one too. Super cool, it's huge, and if you want to do some like pistol running gun, it's awesome. It is quite heavy though, it's the only downside, but this is one of the few, I like the CQB Russian valve. I know the guy personally makes, I love the stuff. If you're gonna buy it, I'm glad you recommended the CQB Russian version of the valve, which basically lets you take out the airfill valve you put green gas into normally, and you put this little connection, and now you can hook your HPA up to it. I think this magazine is really what it's meant for. When you look at it, it's designed to hold a bunch of rounds, and then now you can run HPA, because the problem is like that, the limitation around. You have to change the mag, then you got to change the adapter. So you got to like take your magazine out, then take the hose off the magazine, put your hose in the next magazine, and put it in your gun. It really adds a lot of extra steps to playing. But when you have this big drum mag, you just leave the hose attached, and it'll make you through a game. I mean, it's like 600 or 700 rounds or something. It's crazy. I think it's super cool. I think it's a perfect application. And like I said, to answer your question, you're good to go. In fact, you get a chance, post a video up of this. I'd love to see it in action, and I'll link to it on a future video. Top Shots 11 writes, hey Jonathan, my question is, what are your thoughts of a 5 versus 5 Milsim competition? I think it's cool. I've thought about this. Actually, I put a ton of thought over the years into some sort of competitive Milsim. How do we do a competitive Milsim with smaller teams, like a la Rainbow Six Siege, things like that, right? So I think versus, you still get the inherent problem of confirming the hit, getting the kill, calling the hit, all those things. So I think a versus, a team-based one, would be a time trial, or versus a dedicated opponent where you have multiple options. Like you can kind of look at it this way, like I can go sneak in and try to get the objective. I can go run and gun and try to shoot and fight my way in. I can try to bribe my way in. I think that it needs to be open, and then the bad guys follow a script. So they're like, hey, if these are the things you're allowed to do, negotiate, this is the person who's in charge, all that. I think there's a way to do it. I really do. I think 5 versus 5 head on in a Milsim competition, I mean, it's essentially like Speedsoft. I mean, let's be honest, right? You're just wearing different clothing. I mean, you're just gonna be like geared up instead of like speed software and faster. You may be a little slower because of all the gear, but at the end of the day, you're just playing a 5v5 shoot 'em up competition. I really think you need objective-based gameplay. That's what makes Milsim Milsim, and that will, I think, help give it that feel of Milsim. A long time ago, there was something called the Direct Action Mission. It was part of what American Milsim did. I thought that was the closest thing I saw to competitive type Milsim event. There was a dedicated force. You kind of went through this scripted type scenario to go rescue a hostage or do this or do that. You really didn't know what was ahead of you. It was one of the few times where I actually would totally kit up and have like zip ties and bolt cutters and all these things that people wear for fun. Because in this event, you'd get to a part where you're like, we need bolt cutters. Like the door's locked. Like there's a padlock and you got to cut the chain, you know, and that's, you know, and they'd have it colored, like cut this one so they could actually redo it. You wouldn't cut the chain in half to waste it, but you'd cut the chain, like legit cut the chain, not like, oh, I'm pretending to. And you'd run into bad guys that you would have to restrain and zip tie. And if you didn't, and you just left them there, then they'd come back to get you and shoot you in the back. Or you know, if you didn't know which one of the prisoners was a fake prisoner and you'd have to zip tie them all or whatever. So there's a lot of really neat things going on. I think they did it the closest to what you're talking about. I'd love to see something like that again. In fact, if you ever want to see it, I got some stuff on my channel. I'll have to go way back in the catalog, but this stuff is called Direct Action Mission. It was an American Milsim. There's a bunch of different ones. I've got some actual footage of me playing in these direct action missions so you can get a feel of what it's like. It's pretty chaotic and crazy, but so much fun. It's like playing a video game episode. I mean, or like a level on like a video game. It's super cool. And I kind of miss doing that. But anyway, I think that's gonna be the closest thing. But as for a true 5-on-5, I mean, it's kind of just like a Speedsoft match, and that's already out there. All right, that's it for questions this week, which means it is time for the Code Red Headsets video recommendation of the week. And this one comes from Rex McStiller. And this says, hey, check out the channel called Highlander. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. Quite a few subs, like 11,000 on this channel. It's out of Germany and does some really good gameplay. It's fun. I like the graphics that he puts in. And some self-depreciating humor. I don't speak a lick of German, but it's entertaining to watch. And that's the best thing, I think. And I've said this many times before when I watch channels that are not in my native language or a language I can speak or understand. If I can enjoy it and not understand the dialogue, then you know it's a good channel, right? You know it's good. Like you can take the audio track out. I like the audio track because I like the commentary and the talking because it's, you know, you can hear the inflection, you can hear the talking, and you kind of get a rough idea of what's going on, maybe. But overall, I love it. I think it's a great channel, quality content, and of course, you're watching it right now as I'm playing it. This is one of many videos that are on the channel. Definitely one to watch. Absolutely one to watch. Definitely one to check out. For me, earn the subscribe, and that's always the checkbox of approval for me. If you guys and gals are interested, you like this, go check out the channel, watch the video. If you like the video, put a comment in the comment section below their video and let them know that I sent you over there. And don't forget to mash the sub button over on Highlander's channel. And again, this week, thanks a bunch for Rex for submitting this one. And also, if you have a channel of your own, you can even self-promote, that's totally cool, or a YouTube channel like Rex has that he enjoys, which is Highlander, put it in the comment section below and make sure to try to vote those up. I read through the comments every single week and I'll try to get it on the next week's show or future show to help promote and highlight that channel so we all can grow as a community here in Airsoft. I mean, the more of us out here doing YouTube, the better, and I think the more interesting channels that we may all not know. I mean, again, another one I'd never heard of that more of us get to see these things, we all grow as a community. And that's something that's super important to me, is that as a community, we all together continue to make this hobby of Airsoft and the sport of Airsoft that we have larger and larger in the right way. So anyway, until next week, go out, play some Airsoft, have some fun. Don't forget to check out the videos from the Crytek owners video meeting. After this one, like, hit the sub button if you're not already subbed, hit the notification bell on there because you're gonna get the updates when they drop. No matter what you do though, call your freaking hits.